Hello everyone. So, kind of picking up where we last were, when I was doing a trial roulette, I ended up getting Thornmarch hard, and so I'm going to show the cutscenes for that. I had originally planned to record it, because partly it's one of my favorite trials that there is, but I will hopefully be able to show that some other time. So, Thornmarch hard. Kupo, who in the seven hells are you? Meddling adventurers, I'd wager. Rebels Guard, to arms! Defend the King, Kupo! And since we've done that, we now need to speak with, make the report there. But before I do that, since I'm already in New GRIDANIA, I'm going to actually pick, or continue on with the raid information stuff, that's around this area. As you can see, the samurai looks slightly different, because I was able to start getting some of the ironworks gear, and currently we only have that many, so I can't get more of it just yet. Hopefully I will be able to today. And I also have the Conjurer to level 26. So it is getting closer to level 30. And becomes the White Mage. And then I might be able to use it as this. And I still haven't looked up Red Mage, so I probably will look that up after this video and reacquaint myself with the skills. And Parsemontre. Yes, I'm sorry, did you say you wish to purchase Aether Sand? Forgive me, madame, but have you the faintest idea of the rarity of the material you ask? Why, I have not seen so much as a grain of Aether Sand in these markets for many a long year. I could tell you where one might find the ore from which the water-aspected variety of the abrasive is derived, but only a desperate fool would willingly set foot in the place. You seem undeterred. Very well. Are you familiar with Earth's Gift? This is where the ore is to be found, in an area inhabited by a particularly pernicious hog. Should you encounter the betusked nightmare, you will know that you are in the right place, albeit at the wrong time. Farewell! And so we will head there, which is just over there. Which is kind of where I guessed, because that's where all the hogs are. And I get to show off this. Isn't that cute? Oops. Come on. There we go. And he's got little legs. Anyway, also has a very high jump, which is kind of funny, but I like the summoning thing. It's summon your fatter cat. Fatter than a fat cat, obviously. It helps if I go in the right direction too, doesn't it? Yes, this way. And I'll head back over here so I avoid all of those, even though I but which I really didn't need to do. I'm so used to having to avoid things with the Conjurer because of how low level it is. Now these will obviously chase me if they spot me. So we need to head right there. Hulking hog carcass. You are too late, adventurer, and not only for the entertainment, you will find no trace of the ore which recently lay here. Which but recently lay here. Nay, not so much as a speck. Ah, no, you will never spy me from there. For the time being, at least, you will have to trust the evidence of your ears. Now stop squinting at the foliage and listen. As I told you, the water-blessed mineral you hoped to find is gone, taken by me. Victory has made me magnanimous, however. Accordingly, I have decided to share the location of an alternative source of aether sand with you, the wind-touched variety to be specific. I trust to have your attention. Good. A band of XIV in the North Shroud keeps a quantity of the abrasive for the purpose of removing impurities from lesser crystals. Well, do you mean to dally here all day? Make haste, adventurer, before I snatch another prize from under your nose. This is to be a race. The XIV logging grounds in the North Shroud shall be our destination, and that is where the real amusement will begin. May the best man win. And so, we will make a quick stop over there. There was more side quests somewhere. I was trying to remember where they were yesterday when I was leveling up my conjurer. I did a few of them in Central Shroud, I think it was. And as I surmised, it was just like your introductory quests of interaction, carry this thing to that, deliver this and that. It wasn't too big of a deal to not record. When touched aether sand. When touched aether sand. And I guess there's probably going to be a cutscene. And I'm correct. Bravo! That was quite a show, adventure. Why, the spectacle proved to be so enthralling that all thoughts of aether sand slipped my mind. I appear to have forfeited our little race. Congratulations, the wind-touched abrasive is yours. And yet, having been treated to such a memorable performance, I cannot help feeling that the greater prize is mine. This inequity must not stand. I insist that you accept a token of my appreciation. Payment for this entertainment will be waiting for you to the east, in a clearing within Proud Creek. Pray retrieve the gift ere it is crushed beneath the iron feet of the Dulahans. Okay. So, I guess we need to head over there. Dulahan. Water-blessed aether sand. Oh, I figured you were going to spot me. That's okay, you're going to die shortly. I mean, hi. Water-blessed aether sand. Not what you were expecting. I took the liberty of refining the ore from Earth's gift into aether sand. Do keep it safe, adventurer. Lest you accuse me of playing games, you should know that the thought of relinquishing my prize never once crossed my mind, until I saw you in action. Such deeds must needs be rewarded. It is my vocation, you see, to record history as it is made by mortal men, and I much prefer to chronicle the accomplishments of the bold and the mighty. Thus, it is my fervent wish that you continue your career with the same courage and zeal you have shown today. We will meet again, adventurer, and sooner than you may imagine. And so we need to head back to there. And I will do just that. And then we will report to Camp Tranquil. After we pick up whatever the next continuation of that quest is. Haha. Ambrose. What news of your mission? Are we any closer to acquiring the remaining abrasives? Wind-touched aether sand. These grains of sand were refined from a wind-touched ore of incredible rarity and hardness. And the same with the water-blessed one. You've brought both? I shall have Master Garland begin work on the crystals immediately. And we have the option of X Potion, X Ether, Elixir, or Elegant Silver Piece. And I'm going for the X Potion. There, that should do the trick. Excellent work. We now possess all 4 of the fangs required to pierce the Crystal Tower's defenses. My compliments, Master Garland. It was a trifling matter. I assure you, Celebrian here is the one you should be thanking. Anyway, by my reckoning, there's nothing stopping us from striding up to the Elegance's front door. You can't go without us, Chief! Biggs! Wedge! Come to lend a hand, have you? Well, it's not every day we get a chance to study the wonders of the Elegant Empire, is it? Their technology makes garland molds look ancient. I appreciate your enthusiasm, lads, I really do, but we're not here to take this knowledge for ourselves. Twice in the last decade, the promise of unimaginable power has prompted men to meddle with technology they do not understand, and the realm has been dragged onto the very brink of oblivion on both occasions. We shall not be so irresponsible as to risk another. Wedge, do you recall our company's creed? Yes, Chief, it's, freedom through technology. Exactly. Freedom. When we forsook our homeland, we swore that we would have no truck with machines that could be used to promote tyranny. That has not changed. Should you feel tempted to break your oath, remember this. The wonders of the all-knowing Elegant Empire could not save their civilization, have darn near doomed ours. Twice. This is why we must explore the Crystal Tower, and if needs be, seal away its secrets. Compelling viewpoint. It is unyielding will such as yours that have defined the course of history. So you return at last. What, pray tell, has kept you so wholly preoccupied that you could not spare a moment to inform me of your progress or preservation? Why the task you assigned to me, of course. Surely you have not forgotten about the aether sand. I tasked a passing adventurer with delivering it. A more capable courier I could not imagine. Greetings, adventurer. Did I not say we would meet again? I believe an introduction is in order. I am GRIDANIA, one of the students of Bildesian. I look forward to joining you on your groundbreaking expedition. GRIDANIA has been assigned to the project as an observer. I hope you will forgive him his eccentricities. Forget it. And welcome him as one of our own. So then, our fellowship is complete, and I'll stand ready to step into the unknown. 3 cheers for Noah! Noah? That is the name I have chosen for a little collective. Given our differing backgrounds, we cannot very well call ourselves the Sons of St. Coinach, can we? and we must have a memorable affiliation of our adventure to leave its mark in the annals of history. I could claim that NOAA stands for Nominated Observers of Artifacts Historical, and so it does technically, but my true reason for choosing this name stems from the fact that it is shared by a vaunted elegant Archmagus. Archmagus? I like the sound of that! Very well, now that the pressing matter of what to call ourselves has been settled, it is time we set forth to brave our outer defenses of the Crystal Tower. Is everyone ready to depart? Yeah! Ready! And we'll pick up the quest here. GRIDANIA is eager to begin the expedition to the Crystal Tower. Esteemed colleagues, the secret of ancient Alec beckon. Let us not keep them waiting any longer, adventure. You and I will join the engineers at the Crystal Tower's main gateway, where we will endeavor to neutralize the structure's outer defenses. Rambros, meanwhile, will remain here and oversee the operation. Given my knowledge of Allegan history, it seems logical that I should lead the expedition itself, though I admit the role does not exactly befit my status as an observer. Still, we can but make use of the resources at hand, assuming all are in agreement. Let us proceed forthwith to the large, lopsided gate found to the southeast, which is over there, but we will get to that later, because as I said, we will now report to Pukni Pak. Do I dare believe my ears? Good King Mogul Mox XII, may his magnificent virtue serve as an example to us all, has fallen? Well, Mughal kind owes you a debt, Kupo. Oh, a sense... Bleh. I sense Raya O wishes to congratulate you as well. I shall let you two speak without fear of interruption. Something tells me he's going to interrupt. Raya O Senna wishes to congratulate you on your victory over good King Mogul Mox XII. Your bravery in service to the Twelveswood and her Mughals shall not be forgotten, Celebrian. My sister will doubtless wish to hear the tales of this great victory from the mouth of the woman responsible. Pray return to the Lotus Stand and treat her to a full account of the day's events, while the details are yet fresh in your mind. And of course that means back to New GRIDANIA. That's okay. Silent Conjurer. The old suitor is expecting you, madame. May I show you in? No poop. Everyone wants to hear your tale, Kupo. What are you waiting for? Tell them! Tell them! Nita. Celebrian Kubla Koob says you killed the king. I'm pleased, of course, but it completely spoiled the end of your story, silly Mughal. Papalanmamo. By Louis Sua's definition, the late King Mughal Mox XII was indeed a primal. But how can that be? It defies all precedent. Kane Senna. Whatever his name is. Celebrian, you have returned to us unharmed and victorious. Thus have I two reasons to be glad. Yet many questions remain unanswered. If you would be so kind as to oblige me, I would fain hear all that occurred in Thornmarch. Then it is as we feared. The king really is a primal. But he really isn't, is he? I mean, the Mughals don't worship him for one thing. He's not even a god to them. That doesn't sound like any primal I've ever heard of. Then mayhap the fault lies with the definition. The fact remains that through a combination of the power contained in crystals and the force of their collective faith, the Mughals called forth a being that by rights should not exist. However, when slain, instead being left no corpse, the Aether would promise him instead being scattered to the four winds. According to the accepted definition, he may not be a primal, but the mode of his manifestation was in every respect the same. Which means... Asians. This whole business reeks of their handiwork. Kupopo? They said it was a masked man who taught them how years ago. But GRIDANIA has no shortage of masked men, and I never thought to question. Confound it all. How many more will they ensnare with their tainted gifts? Too many, I fear. So long as there are paragons to stir the embers, fools to build a pyre, and crystals to feed the flames. Ever and again shall we suffer primal visitation. A somber thought, but a salutary one. A salutary one. My heartfelt thanks, Celebrean. Already the information you have provided has proven invaluable. The Grand Serpent Marshal and I have much to discuss. Oh! Before you do, my lady, I was hoping we might finish discussing the other matter. The matter of which you speak has even now been settled. The Scions shall not want for support. We shall be glad to send additional supplies to Revenant's Toll. We knew we could count on you, my lady. While Yida and I remain to discuss the particulars of our arrangement with the Elder Seedseer, mayhap you could return to the Waking Sands and apprise the antecedent of all that has transpired. So, Koop. You don't have to worry about the Mulgusguard anymore, Kupo. The chieftain made them apologize in front of absolutely everyone, and just to be sure, we were keeping a close eye on them too. Kani Isada. Please extend my personal thanks to the antecedent, along with my best wishes for the Science's forthcoming move. Kita, thanks to the Elder Seedseer's generous donation, the Rising Stones may actually be worth leaving the Waking Sands for. Papalamo. This business has taught us much, and the antecedent must needs be informed of her findings. Pray leave matters here to us and return to the Waking Sands. And so, to the Waking Sands I go. Bye, Tataru. Bye, Tataru. Philia. It is good to see you hale and healthy, Celebrean. I received word from Yida and Papalamo that you had felled good King Moogle-Mox XII, and I had hoped to hear your version of the tale. So it was as they said, summoned with the same methods used by the Beast Tribes and taught by the Asians. Though unfortunate, this incident did at least serve to remind the Elder Seedseer of our usefulness. Her offer of additional support could not have come at a better time. My thanks, Celebrean. And the time has come at last to leave Vesper Bay, and Minfilia would apprise you of the final details of the move. Owing to the tireless efforts of all concerned, we are at long last ready to bid farewell to Vesper Bay. So as to avoid drawing undue attention, we shall make the journey to Revenant's Toll in small groups, departing at irregular intervals. Lest you doubt, it is still my intention to conduct future operations openly, but on this particular occasion, the need for caution overrides all other concerns. To move north as one ponderous caravan would only serve to invite an attack. It seemed only right that I should be the last to leave, and I would have you remain with me until the end, Celebrean. Upon my departure, the Waking Sands will formally cease to be our headquarters, and the premises will be given to the care of Urianger. I had thought to relinquish the property, but he was quite adamant, and I had not the heart to disagree. These walls have borne witness to some of the brightest and darkest moments in our Order's history. Mayhap it is best that we do not forsake them entirely. Urianger shall remain here and devote his energies to studying the nature of the primals. By the grace of the 12, he will one day discover the permanent solution that we have sought for so long. Of course, he will not be alone. Alice shall continue to work closely with him as well. Should they require our assistance, I have their assurances that they will not hesitate to contact us. Speaking of Urianger, would you inquire of him if any tasks remain undone? I cannot escape the feeling that I have forgotten something important. Urianger. Thou art ever welcome, Celebrean, but I require no assistance. Pray take thy leave unburdened by concern for my well-being. Verily, thy countenance bespeaks a desire to quit this place without further delay. Mayhap thou thinkest this chapter of her tale concluded, that these halls should rightly be consigned to the annals of history. In man's eagerness to seize the future, how readily he doth set down the past. Full many a proud pioneer hath bravely stridden into the great unknown, only to find there the banner of his ancestor faded by the eons, and still man glorieth in his discoveries. 'Tis through his pride that the wisdom doth ever give way to ignorance, while they who lurk in shadow remain hidden, lost no sooner than they are found. Okay. Be not offended, Celebrian. Thy conduct hath ever been beyond reproach. Despite thy surpassing strength and all thy many victories, thou hast never been so convinced of thine own greatness as to imagine thyself above the failings of thy forebears. Mayhap it is the echo which hath opened thine eyes to the lessons of history. Would that the same could be said of... Yeah! Whence came that cry? The solar, 12th fervent, the antecedent! Celebrian, you must... Tell me, Louisois, would you have done the same? Louisois Lavalier was a remarkable man, wise beyond mortal measure. Would that I had met him prior to his passing. An Ascian? Here? How? How readily you see. You are indeed gifted, antecedent. But you're not like the others. Your robes. Gifted, but ignorant, yet I shall not judge you harshly. The fault lies with your forebears. It has been millennia. Mine are the robes of an emissary. Unlike he who came before, I have no quarrel with you. He who? You speak of La Habrea? La Habrea is a warrior. He fought. He fell. He may yet learn from his mistakes. Then he is still... Come, I only confirm that which you already knew. There is no cessation to oblivion, only expulsion. You... what are... We're ready when you're ready. We're ready when you are, my lady. If there's nothing else... Is something the matter? I feel the same way. After everything that's happened here, it feels strange to leave, but I'm sure we'll soon get used to Revenant's toll. Well, I'll let you say your goodbyes. Take as long as you like, my lady. We shall depart whenever you're ready. It is only to be expected. She lacks the gift and the knowledge both. To her we are indistinct. I do not understand. Shadowless, fleshless, formless, what truth there is in each tale is diluted by time and telling. Knowledge dictates expectation, and expectation colors perception. Thus did she perceive not. So it is with all but a chosen few. Even you, when young, could not yet see with eyes unclouded. You know nothing about me. Nothing! The gift grants you clarity. It grants you focus. With it, you may in time come to see us as we are, rather than this crude approximation. La Habrea did not think so highly of the echo. Lahapreya is wrong and about a great many things. The echo is indeed a gift, albeit one you have yet to master. And if we did, there would be no strife between our peoples, for we would be of one mind. I leave as I came, in peace, antecedent. May we meet again as friends. Wait! Stay where you are! Yeah! Mayhap I was indelicate. 'Tis a mercy she shields her children from disgrace with such resolve. Was it also by her hand that you survived the ardor? I wonder. I take it there is no need to explain. Save your concern, he did me no lasting harm. Whatever his intention was, it was not to kill. I heard a cry. What happened? Are you all right? You look faint. Do you need to lie down? I could fetch you a flask of my special tonic. Urianger, send word to the students of Baldessian. Tell them to scour the archives, the forbidden tomes in particular. If there is any reference to an Ascian robed in white, however oblique, I would know of it. An Ascian, my lady? Was that what gave you cause to cry out? I did but moments ago glimpse a figure clad in white set forth from the Viking sands. Yet Ascians are wont to employ teleportation magics. Why would one be so brazen? I know not and care not. Find him, Celebrian. Turn every stone of Vesper Bay if you have to. Pray attend me, Tataru. He speaks of peace, but I know his words belie his true intent. Quickly, Celebrian, do not let him escape. And so we need to head out of the Waking Sands and seek the white-robed Ascian in Vesper Bay. That just so happens that I already know where to look. And you can barely see it on the minimap, but there's a little circle there. And essentially, he is right here. If you didn't spot him before that. I am told that you are the warrior of light, but I know for myself. I shall walk north, and you may choose to follow. Know, however, that you will be waylaid if you do. You may even perish. Should you survive, we shall speak anon. And thusly, we must needs follow him over there. And we must needs follow him further over here. Grotesque, or gruesome gargoyle. apparently I forgot I had that skill. It should be up over there. Somewhere. I'll figure out where to put it later. Yeah, we'll swap that for there. There we go. That'll work. Gnarl the gargoyle. So the best combination for that is probably when you have the full boost of 3 gauges. And we must needs head over this way. Up to over there. Should be just over there, and I believe you can see the... Oh, no, we see someone else. That's why. But either way, this is the location. Ascian Thaumaturge. Nothing like attacking the wrong creatures. I'm gonna have to be careful not to hit that one. Fortunately, it's not aggressive. Remarkable. Truly remarkable. I thank you for granting me this indulgence. None save she who best of La Habrea could endure such an examination. Have the laws of man grown so twisted in my absence that it is now permitted to lay hands upon an emissary? You bore witness to my audience with the antecedent, did you not? Then you know I acted only in self-defense. I realize the same cannot be said of La Habrea. Even amongst his brethren, he is considered unique. Nevertheless, I cannot wholly condemn his misdeeds, for through them we discovered you, one so strong in the gift that she could cast us out. Your mother favors you still. That much is plain, but surely you must feel it. Her influence wanes, and her strength shall soon be spent. These lands, these people, this world, all shall soon change. As it was, so shall it be again, as it should always have been. Doubt my claims and question my motives if you will. Only believe me when I say this. I am Elidibus, sure, emissary, bearer of the word of the one true God, and we shall meet again. Huh? And so we need to head back and speak with Benfilia. Thank the gods you've returned, Celebrin. After you left, I began to worry that I might have sent you to your doom. I take it our visitor proved elusive? Beg pardon, he was waiting for you? What did you do? What did he say? As it was, so shall it be again? Of what does he speak? And of what exactly? The words of this Elidibus portend much have revealed nothing, save perhaps a measure of disdain for La Habrea. I had hoped for answers, but it seems I shall have to be content with a wealth of additional questions. Such is the way. What did we get anyway? Void's Hand Blood? Why? Menphilia. Menphilia has a final favor to ask of you. Let us set aside the matter of this Ascian until after we have completed our move to the Rising Stones. There is but one final favor I would ask of you before I depart. I believe I mentioned before that my father was a member of the Alamegan resistance. The truth, however, is more complicated than that. As far as the Empire knew, he was their spy. He maintained the deception for nigh on half a decade, furnished the resistance with vital imperial secrets, while feeding his paymasters subtlety conceived misinformation. When he died some 15 years ago, my father left behind his journal, which I have closely guarded ever since. It contains every shred of information he and his agents could steal on what they believe to be the single greatest threat to Eorzea, the Primals. Its wisdom has guided me through the years, though there is much within I still do not understand. It is my hope that Urianger will fare better. Tell him to treat it with care. It is all I have left of my father. And so, speaking with Urianger. Urianger. I thought thee departed. To what end dost thou linger? Warburton's Journal. The legacy of Menfilia's father, who perished in the parade incident of 1562 when a Gubu broke free of its magical fetters and ran amok through the streets of Ul'dah, contains a wealth of stolen imperial research on the primals, as well as other information which has yet to be deciphered. The father's final bequest, the daughter's lifelong labor. It is no small thing to surrender such a cherished memento. Well can I imagine the antecedent's pain. Upon mine honor, I swear to spare no effort in the study of these materials, lest my lady's sacrifice be in vain. Celebrian, this is Menfilia. Forgive me, but I could wait no longer. I have departed for the Rising Stones. If you have yet to... Once you have given the journal to Urianger, I bid you come to the Seventh Heaven in Revenant's Toll. Tataru will be there to show you inside our new headquarters. Assuming you have already attuned to it, you may wish to make use of our new aetheryte in Revenant's Toll. After all, it is right on our doorstep. Urianger. Urianger wishes to speak with you about the royal return of Good King Mughal XII. And I guess this is a side quest and not the main scenario quest. But amongst the Mulga kind, the legend of Good King Mughal XII doth tell of a wise and magnanimous ruler. Alas, the entity thus summoned put the lie to this imagining with his brief and decidedly unpeaceful reign. 'Twas more disturbing for me to learn then that the Mughals' guard have once more succeeded in placing their maniac potentate upon his thorny throne. Methinks the agents of chaos doth lurk in the shadows of this deed. Only with the Ascians' guileful intervention could they have called the king back from the Aether with such haste. As ever, it falls to thee, to the blade born of light, to vanish the Paragons' dark ambition from our realm. The 12 only know what dire power doth corrupt the saviour of these gentle forest folk. Thy name has been called, Celebrian. The more moderate faction of the Mughals hath joined with the Order of the Twin Adder in an effort to open thee a path to the good king's domain. I bid thee make haste to the Adder's Nest and once more pledge thine aid in deposing this royal myth made flesh. I will probably do that on my own and just record the cutscenes for them. And likewise, I may actually end up doing the same with the Hildebrand quest. And so I'm not entirely sure why I ran this way instead of teleporting to Mortona. So, over in here, you see Tataru. Welcome, Celebrian, welcome. This is your first time here, if I'm not mistaken. I think you're going to like our new home. Well, what are you waiting for? Go in and have a look. Rising Stone's entrance. Enter the Rising Stone. Lieutenant. I did not realize the science had moved until I arrived in Vesper Bay. Thankfully, Urianger was kind enough to direct me here. I know I've only just joined, but if there is anything I can do to help, please let me know. And Rishtola's over there, Thancred. As ravishing as ever, perhaps for old time's sake she would... Selrin, don't sneak up on me like that. We birds are an easily startled lot. Sorry? Y'shtola. As you can see, our Charlian allies have furnished us with a wealth of new tomes. 'Twould be prudent for you to broaden your knowledge as well. Would love to if they were interactable. Flehamin. Oh, you wish to help. That's very kind of you, but I can manage on my own. Besides, you should be out having grand adventures, not withering away here with me. I didn't know you were withering. Papalamo. So here we are, completely independent and unquestionably neutral, or at least more so than before. Truth be told, I cannot say it feels that different. Of course, Ida begs to differ. Ida, I love the smell of victory in the morning. It smells like sweat. No, Muntaisos. No, victory! Yeah, victory! Ori Boulder. Cuff, wheeze, the horror. I don't know what, but okay. Anyway, we will go speak with Minfilia. Who? Actually, I guess we'll speak to Elfino first. Hi, Elfino. Is it not wonderful, Celebrian? Nary a single presumptuous merchant has darkened our door. I know full well they will come in time, but for now, let us enjoy the respite. Entrance to the Solar. Well, it is certainly spacious. Today marks a new beginning for the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. For today we declare our independence. We shall henceforth be beholden to no nation, but serve all of Eorzea's people proudly and openly. But this does not mean that we will sever our ties to the Eorzean alliance. On the contrary, the antecedent and I shall endeavor to strengthen them. Rest assured, however, that we shall not permit political considerations to influence our decisions. Our identity remains unchanged, as does our cause. We are the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and our single purpose is to safeguard the future of Eorzea. For Eorzea! A moment of your time, Celebrian. I would speak of Illidibus. Pardon the intrusion, my lady, but the matter which bringeth me will admit no delay. Mine every attempt to contact the students of Beldessian hath been met with silence. No one will respond? How odd. Allow me to try. No response. Surely they would not ignore us. They have never yet, my lady. I fear we must assume the worst. No, I will not believe it. An outpost, perhaps, but not their headquarters. Their wards are beyond circumvention. Had they come under attack, they would most certainly have raised the alarm. None could penetrate their sanctum unnoticed. But for those who lack the gift and knowledge both, oh no. Contact their agents in the field at once. If aught has befallen the students of Beldessian, they may know of it. though the thought of it pains me until such time as we have evidence to the contrary. We can but assume the worst. Accordingly, we must needs seek another source of information on Elidibus. 'Tis possible that others in the homeland are possessed of such knowledge. Be fairly warned, however, they are unlikely to yield it unconditionally. Do what you must. Yet another unforeseen and unwelcome development. What could be next, I wonder? A visit from a crimson-clad Ascian, perhaps? Or Ochre? Or Puce? And which of our allies will then fall silent? For a time I thought we had gained the upper hand. When you shattered the Crystal of Darkness and cast out Lohabrea, I dared to hope that we had found a way to rid ourselves of the Ascian menace. But I was wrong. He endures and may yet return. Upon that point, I have no doubt that Elidibus spoke true. Yet there must be a way to destroy them utterly, a way to spare this world their unholy machinations. I dare not consider the alternative. There are forces at work we do not understand, Celebrian. I discern them all around, and disturbances too great and too numerous to be dismissed as mere coincidence. Doubtless the Paragons are involved, but how and to what end is far from clear. I know not what will come, but I do know that we will rise and meet it as one. Ah, my stalwart hero, your face is a picture of resolve. I know that you will be ready when the time comes. With luck, however, that will not be for a while yet. Pray return to your private affairs with my blessing. Should anything arise, you will be informed. Krill, where are you? Or Kryl. I can forget how to say her name. Kryl, I think. Your intercession was not foretold. You object? We question. Our plans are in motion, your intentions unclear. They survived the Seventh Ardor, and you are stronger now in the gift. Does that not intrigue you? No, it does not. Serve as you will, so too shall I. We labor not at cross purposes. The wisdom of his plan shall become apparent in time, when the veil is lifted from their eyes, and at long last they see. Okay. A realm awoken. Vinfilia. Vinfilia has a new assignment for you. Truly, there is no rest for the weary. Scarce I had begun to make myself at home when I received a request for assistance from Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It would appear their storehouse in Horizon has been the target of a series of covert robberies. Minor as they seemed in isolation, occasional discrepancies in the manifests were long dismissed as clerical errors. It was only during the concern's annual audit that a pattern became apparent. Significant quantities of crystals, and only crystals, were missing. I need hardly tell you what that may imply. Uh-oh. The Brass Blades charged with investigating the thefts believe that someone within the concern is selling the crystals for profit. Alas, they have as yet been unable to identify a likely suspect, and the concern's proprietors have grown frustrated by their lack of progress. Needless to say, I would not have agreed to intervene had the stolen goods been of merely monetary value. If there is even a possibility that the thief acts are not out of self-interest but in service to a primal, we can ill afford to wait for the Blades to realize their mistake. Pray depart for Horizon at your earliest convenience. Rendezvous with Y'shtola when you arrive. She and Thancred have already begun a preliminary investigation. I have every confidence that the three of you will get to the bottom of these thefts. I only hope our fears prove unfounded when you do. And so we need to go to the horizon. Y'shtola. Librarian, your assistance is most welcome. I have already spoken at length with the brass blades of the Rose, albeit to little avail. It would seem that the thieves took great pains to conceal their activities. I could go into further detail, but your time might better be spent in conversation with Fufalupa. He is the officer charged with leading the investigation. I would only be repeating that which he related to me. If aught eluded my attention, mayhap it will not elude yours. And Fufalupa is over here, apparently hiding behind the Aetheryte. Fufalupa. Slabrian, what a pleasure it is to see you again. Y'shtola said to expect you. Terrible business, these thefts. We have yet to confirm the quantity of crystals stolen, but I dare say it may be greater than... but never mind that, I have news to share. A short while ago, the driver of a heavily laden carriage refused to halt for inspection and broke through one of our checkpoints on the Royal Elegant Sunway. Alas, my colleagues had no mounts with which to give chase. However, our scouts have reported seeing a cart of the same description bound for eastern Thanalan. These could be our thieves, don't you think? We must inform Y'shtola at once. And back over here to Y'shtola. Y'shtola. A speeding carriage. That would seem a curious choice for thieves of such proven cunning. Yet the Amalja do have a foothold in eastern Thanalan. Thancred is already afield with a unit of brass blades. I shall instruct him to take up position to the east of the beastman's encampment. Pray join him there. And so we need to head to eastern Thanalan over that way. So we will teleport to Camp Drybone. Slabrian, for once it is you who is fashionably late. We seized the errant carriage and its excitable coachman not long ago. In all my years, I have never seen such a prodigious quantity of sumnus. The blades were calling it one of the greatest... sadly not. The coachman had no hand in the crystal thefts, and judging by my survey of the encampment, neither did the Amalja. But let us discuss this in Y'shtola's presence, shall we? I'll see you back in Horizon. And back to the Horizon we go. Thancred. Against all expectation, I would seem the Amalja are innocent of this particular spat of crimes. By all indications, they have yet to replenish the stores of crystals exhausted during their last attempt to summon Ifrit. What I can't fathom is why anyone else would go to such lengths to obtain crystals, and in such quantities. It cannot be that we are dealing with these simple thieves. If their motive were profit, then why would they limit their trade to crystals alone? Plainly, we are missing something. While you think about what it might be, I shall inform Urianger of our progress, or lack thereof.
Now then. Tis I. The situation may be more complicated than we anticipated.
Indeed, I shall remain watchful. Ere thou goest, another matter requireth thine attention. A young maiden, full eager to... Wherefore inquirest thou of her fairness? Very well. Be she damsel or devil, I shall direct her steps to Revenant's Toll. Save thine insinuations for one given to such impropriety. Thou shalt not find me amenable.
Far across the sea from the land of Doma have we traveled. We seek audience with the ruler of these lands. Who here speaks for you?
That's interesting. Speaking to Thancred. Thancred wishes to discuss how to proceed with the investigation. Any bright ideas? A solitary flash of insight? No? Well then, for want of a better suggestion, I say we try picking Fufalupa's brain again. Who knows, if we work together, we might find something of use nestled away within it. Y'shtola. Mayhap a more subtle approach is in order. Fufalupa. And what of the brass blades of the rose? Can you say for certain that none were involved? To be honest, I cannot. I have done my utmost to purge the corruption from our ranks since Captain Lightwind was brought to justice. My thanks again, Celebrian. But of those who remain, well, let's just say that there are many whose wants exceed their wealth. I fear the presence of a traitor would go some way to explain how the thieves' activities escaped our notice for so long. It would be most unfortunate if your fears proved well-founded, Fufalupa. Indeed. If, for reasons of security, the concern decided to transfer the remaining crystals stored in Horizon to another location, their plans would be discovered the moment the brass blades were informed. But such a shipment would surely be well guarded. Would thieves as wily as ours risk open confrontation? Mayhap not, but neither could the concerned be eager to present them with such an obvious target. Nay, they might instead elect to carry out the transfer in secret, to entrust the goods to, let us say, a lone Makoti miner, traveling without escort so as not to attract undue attention. But who? Ah, I see. Yes, the concerned may well elect to do that, but to travel with so much cargo would be a strenuous task indeed, and this miner would certainly need to rest upon the way, mayhap north of the bridge to Hammerleia? A fine spot for a rest, would you not agree, Celebrian? You lie in wait to the north, and I shall do the same to the south. Ahem! Forgive me, my friends, but I have received new orders. I must inform my men at once. Call me a cynic, but I would be surprised if these thieves lay down their arms and surrender. Say that you have come prepared to offer them some encouragement. And so we need to head over there. Destination. Standing watch. Movement in the distance catches your eyes. Unknown Ravager. Unknown Ravager. Unknown Ravager. Unknown Ravager. Lie in wait for the thieves. Where am I supposed to? Oh, whoops. Y'shtola. Hello, random miner. Stubborn to the last as expected. You are unharmed? A gang of sea-wolf thieves, and in THANALAN no less. I suppose there's a first time for everything. Sea-wolves? All of them? Aye, and all with the same taste in facial tattoos. Blue, in case you were wondering. Our thieves are a long way from home. Thancred, if you would be so good as to attend to the outstanding matter in Horizons. I have inquiries to make. To Horizon, then. Fufalupa will want to hear about your meeting with the thieves. And so, back over there we go. Fufalupa. On behalf of the brass blades of the Rose, I thank you for your service to Horizon. But we have not been idle. While you were afield, we succeeded in identifying the traitor within our ranks. Is that so? Then by your leave, I should very much like to have a word with the fellow in private. No, I'm afraid that will not be possible. Regrettably, he, managed to subdue the unit of blades dispatched to detain him and made good his escape. Oh, for the love of... And how did he manage that exactly? Your men haven't been sampling the somnus we confiscated, have they? Or was he a giant in disguise? No, but he was quite strong. A sea-wolf. Luminson born and raised, I believe. But do not worry, we will find him. You have my word on that. I see. Pray keep me appraised of your developments. Of any developments. Or whatever. Yes? She's standing next to me. Understood. I fear our time together is at an end, my friend. Your services are required elsewhere. Awfully disappointing, I know, but one must follow where duty leads. You might try to look a little disappointed. Or do you mean to give me another one of your stoic nods? You do, don't you? Yep. And Thancred. Thancred has information on your next assignment. The antecedent bid me to tell you to make for Vesper Bay, where young Alphanoid waits your coming most eagerly. It was he who requested your assistance. Some commotion or incident, I'm not privy to the details. While you do whatever it is that Alphano has planned for you, I shall endeavor to track down our traitorous Brassblade, and when I do, you may rest assured that we will have our answers. What if I told you I already know the answer? Haha. You are late. No matter. I know where our visitors are headed. From what I have been able to gather, this vessel belongs to a band of Domans who seek an audience with the Sultana. You are familiar with Doma, yes? And Othard? Well, like the rest of the nations of the eastern continent, it is ruled by the Garlean Empire. Given our visitors' unannounced arrival, as well as the state of their ship, I suspect they did not leave their homeland under the best circumstances. Needless to say, I should be very interested to hear their tale, and more importantly, what they know of the current state of affairs in the Empire. Such information could prove most useful. We would be fools not to pursue this opportunity, do you not think? Come with me to Ul'dah, Slevrin. Unless I am mistaken, and I am rarely mistaken, we will find the Doman bickering with the Sultan sworn at the Royal Promenade. You are uncertain of your role in the proceedings? Insurance. If our guests are not themselves Imperial agents, it seems fair to assume that they may be being pursued by some. And if not, who better than you to have in hand in the event of an unforeseen diplomatic incident? Besides, I do so enjoy your sparkling repartee. Satisfied? Good. I shall see you in Ul'dah. And to Ul'dah we go. And I guess... Oh, that's right. We have quests here. I forgot that I had done the next rank upwards for the Grand Company. So we are actually at this rank here, and in order to go up another rank, I believe, I need to do this quest. So Swift has a special assignment for you. Sergeant Saragon, your deeds of late have not gone unnoticed. As fortune would have it, we have just received a distress call from House Dismael in Ishgard, and have a mind to assign you to the mission. Your task is, in brief, travel to Dismael Darkhold and purge the subterranean fortress of the void scent that lurk within. Prepare yourself, then make your way to the central highlands of Corythus, where the Darkhold lies. Ophelia, a knight of House Dismael, will provide you with a more comprehensive briefing when you arrive. I trust you will not let us down, Sergeant. And so I will do that some other time. And I'm not sure what that is, but given that there's a bunch of people, I'm guessing it's... What's the date? Oh, I see. The next event quest, I believe that's what that is. Anyway, we also have my class quest for the samurai here, but we will head to the hustings strip first. Lift attendant. Hustings strip. Yes. It matters not how many times you ask. Without the necessary permissions, none shall pass. Pray understand, good sir. We have not the leisure to lodge a formal petition. Time is of the essence. All I ask is that you summon your superior. Allow me to plead my case. Surely you can grant us that small kindness. Away with you and darken these doors no longer. I will not ask you again. You know not what you do. I gather your pleas fell upon deaf ears. A loyal man with a cold heart, I know his kind well. I hope that you will find me more to your liking. Elfino Levier, at your service, a friend. Which I believe makes me very rare, nearly unique, in this part of the world at least. Few indeed are your allies in Ul'dah, yet you will need some if you wish to endear yourselves to the wealthy and powerful. Pray join me and my associate at the quicksand. There you may explain your situation to us, and we shall see if there's aught we can do to help. And so... Chocobo head. Very chocobo-y. Bitchy attendant. We would be most grateful for any assistance you and Master Elfino can offer. Refugee attendant. It has been ever so long since we last set foot on dry land. I truly hope this marks the end of our journey. Refugee leader. Master Elfino's associate, yes? We have been waiting for you. I trust you're ready to begin. Elfino.
We have traveled some several thousand miles across the sea, from the nation of Doma, in hopes that we might find sanctuary in these lands.
Sanctuary, Lady Yugiri?
Aye. Lying within Othard, Doma was under the dominion of the Garlean Empire. When the War of Succession broke out in Garlemald, we espied an opportunity to free ourselves from the yoke of imperial oppression and took up arms. Only to be crushed. And so I gathered what few Domans escaped the reckoning and guided them hither to your shores.
A war of succession? Then the Emperor... Forgive me. You said that Doma was under imperial rule, did you not?
Doma is gone, razed to the ground as an example to the other provinces.
12 have mercy. And your people?
On a ship anchored in Vesper Bay, flying borrowed colors. Many were complicit in the rebellion, or akin to those who were. They will not come ashore until I send word that it is safe to do so. I sought an audience with your rulers, but was summarily refused.
The lords of Ul'dah are not wont to entertain foreign refugees without suitable encouragement.
Mayhap I was foolish to expect otherwise, but our supplies run low and we have young ones in urgent need of care. I have seen the tents outside the gates, however. We are not the first to seek asylum, nor will we be the last.
Be that as it may, Ul'dah is no friend to Garlemald. Your tale would stir the hearts of many men and women here. The Sultana and the Syndicate will not be so easily swayed, but I shall see that you are granted an opportunity to plead your case.
This is within your power?
Well, far be it from me to boast, but I do have the ear of certain influential individuals.
I am in your debt.
Lady Yugiri, forgive me for observing, but your choice of attire seems like to evoke feelings of mistrust.
Men are wont to fear the unfamiliar. We know this from experience. We seek only to spare the people of Uldar unnecessary disquiet.
I shall defer to your experience, then.
I thank you for your understanding.
It seems I have urgent business with the Flame General. I leave our guests in your capable hands.
Well then. Kasasagi. We are grateful beyond measure for this kindness. Kikyo. Lady Yugiri labors day and night for the good of her people. She is an inspiration to us all. Yet I worry for her health. Yugiri. If I may, madame, as I said earlier, we have been at sea for some several moons, and our supplies are all but spent. I have not the heart to repeat the tales of our tribulations, nor would it please you to listen to them. I think, suffice it to say, however, sacrifices have been made. Though it shames me to beg for more when you have already offered so much, desperation compels me. Good madame, if you or your associates could spare any provisions, anything at all, it would go a long way to lessen the suffering of my people. And so we need to speak with Momodi. Ay ay ay. Hells, why didn't you say so sooner, Celebrian? Of course I'll help. You couldn't have picked a better day to tell the truth. A wealthy merchant and his entourage were due to have a banquet here on the morrow, see? But just sent word that they can't come, meaning I've got a boatload of foodstuffs and no one to feed. Best of all, they paid for the lot in advance. Haha. Go and call on Frederick on Catherine at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Tell him I said to ship the little prince's order to the Waking Sands. Oh, and if they argue, just show him these letters. That should set him straight. And so we need to head over to the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. As per what nobody just said. Frederick. She's in the business of feeding refugees now. I ain't normally one to question Mistress Mobody's judgment, but that doesn't seem wise to me. Mobody's letter. Instructions penned by the Quicksand Proprietress to deliver foodstuffs to the Waking Sands. I'll not speak for the children, but if you ask me, any man that can't earn a crust deserves to go hungry. Catherine. My, that's a rather odd request. Mayhap you misheard her instructions. Mobody's letter. Instructions penned by the Quicksand Proprietress to deliver foodstuffs to the Waking Sands. You know, you shouldn't encourage them like this. They'll start to expect it. You mark my words. Highly doubt that's the situation. Way to be judgmental, guys. Ay, ay, ay. There be birds. Nobody. They didn't give you any trouble, did they? Good. Now go and tell Lady Yugiri it's all in hand. Yugiri. I dared not hope for such magnanimity. Much less expected. Mistress Mobody's is generous indeed. I shall be sure to thank her most humbly. Lady Yugiri, I briefed the Flame General on your situation. I think you will be pleased with his reply. We have been granted an audience? Before the Sultana and Syndicate both, we should return to the Royal Promenade at once. You have done much for us, Master Alphino. I swear we shall return the favor. Not as owed, Lady Ugiri, for naught has been given. This small favor you fairly won with your words. It is with your words that you must win the favor of the Syndicate. And I shall choose them with care. You will be accompanying us, yes? Good. Your presence may serve to remind the Syndicate of the true meaning of philanthropy, and that nothing so unpalpable will be required of them, assuming the Domans are willing to earn their keep. Come, the Flame General awaits us in the Royal Promenade. And thus we shall go to the Hustling Strip once more. Yo. I have heard that the Sultana is a kind and generous ruler. Of the Syndicate, I have heard less flattering things. Kazasaki. If we are all enemies of Garlemald, is it not fitting that we should join forces? Ugiri. Bards sing of wars which decided the fates of nations, but a single word spoken within a council chamber is more like to decide that of mine own. Teleji Adeleji. I wish to greet our guests beforehand and offer my support for their cause. Doman, Uldan, it matters not to me. Birthplace does not equate to birthright in mine eyes. I take great pride in my establishments for this very reason. The Platinum Mirage in particular serves as a showcase for the talents of countless men and women born beyond our borders. Alphino. We must take pains to illustrate how accepting the Domans would benefit Ulda. Only then might the Syndicate be swayed. Raubon. A pleasure, Sergeant Saragon. The others are already inside. Let us not keep them waiting.
I, Ugiri of Doma, am honored to meet you at last, Your Grace. To mark this auspicious occasion, I should like to present to you the finest treasures our humble nation has to offer. Alas, the circumstances which have brought me here today have divested me of both time and dignity. I come before you as a pauper in direst need of aid, to request that you grant my people asylum.
I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, welcome you to our city. Be at ease, Lady Ugiri. Although I myself have heard the tale of your misfortune, I would ask that you recount it once more for the benefit of the others here present.
As you wish, Your Grace. For many years, my nation, Doma, suffered under the yoke of imperial rule, and my people yearned to be free. Thus, when a war of succession broke out in Garlemald, we sought to take advantage of the chaos and reclaim our liberty. Alas, our enemy proved less preoccupied than we had hoped, and our rebellion was put down in the most brutal fashion.
Those who survived, how many do they number?
More than 200 souls huddle within the cramped confines of our own galleon's hold. Yet this figure accounts for but one of a number of ships which escaped the purge. It is my hope that you will allow us all to dwell within your walls. Should that prove unfeasible, however, I humbly ask that you accept as many of my people as your resources allow. Pray understand, we do not beg a boon, but propose instead an arrangement. We would serve as soldiers or tradesmen until our debt is repaid.
What are the Syndicate's opinions on this matter?
I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Lady Ugiri and her people strike me as an industrious lot, and there are parts of the city which have yet to be fully restored. If they are willing to work, I see no reason not to let them.
The head of the Mirage Trust is not known for his generosity. He sees profit in this.
I agree. That said, these are foreign refugees. To admit them would require a formal resolution. Shall we call a vote?
The law is the law.
Lord Lolorito?
Tell me, are you blind or willfully ignorant? Even now, our streets are choked with the displaced victims of the Calamity and Alamigan refugees. They live hand to mouth, subsisting on aid provided by the immortal flames, the cost of which grows ever higher. The wealth of Ul'dah is not without limits, my friends. And need I remind you that these refugees are prone to violence and criminal activity? You have all read the reports, I think. Without homes or employment, it is only a matter of time before men grow desperate and take that which they imagine has been unjustly denied them. Yet, knowing this, you would have us swell their ranks. Mayhap you think the brass blades and the flames are not hard-pressed enough?
Some say the chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company passes Gil thrice daily. This may explain how he came to be the wealthiest man in Ul'dah. Or it may simply be that he's ruthless beyond reckoning.
Surely the Sultanate can support the few hundred domins Lady Yugiri represents. That our resources have been taxed, I do not deny. But we are hardly in danger of financial collapse. I move that an exception be made.
An exception, Your Grace? I am suddenly reminded of a similar debate some years ago regarding a number of Alamigan refugees, if memory serves. What were your words that day? Yes. The law is the law, and so our visitors remained in Little Alamigo. Mayhap our wise and benevolent Sultana would be so good as to enlighten us as to which other of our laws should not be upheld.
Mind your tongue, Lolorito.
My lord, I share your concern for the welfare of our great nation, but we must endeavor to take a longer view. You know as well as I that people can be a resource still more precious than gil.
Precious or not, they were never yet so reliable. And unlike those who frequent your establishment, I have no desire to gamble with my future. Ul'dah's greatest asset is, and has ever been, her material wealth. We risk this at our peril. One need only look to Teleji Adeleji's example for evidence of the danger in allowing sentiment to dictate policy. How far the vaunted Mirage hath fallen, both in repute and profitability, since he began employing refugees.
How I choose to conduct my affairs is not your concern, my lord.
A proposal has been tabled. Given its urgency, I move we forego further debate and call a vote. To accept the Doman refugees or not. Those in favor, I bid you remain. Those opposed, I bid you leave.
Would that it were within my power to welcome you and your people, Lady Yugiri. As you have observed, however, my authority in such matters is regrettably limited. Without the consent of the Syndicate, I cannot act.
I understand, Your Grace, and I appreciate all that you have done on our behalf.
The nerve of the man! If that bastard had not forsaken the eastern trade route, Little Alamigo would now be thriving. Oh, that you should have traveled so far under such dire circumstances, only to be refused in this manner is utterly unconscionable. Pray, accept my sincerest apologies.
Now that the Empire no longer poses an immediate threat, they see little reason to maintain the pretense of unity. The Monitorists have grown especially defiant of late. Lord Lolorito most of all. But this is neither the time nor place for that discussion.
And so we get a choice of... It's funny how this is like purple dye. It looks more red than anything. And instead of yanking one of those dyes, actually I will. Because sometimes you can sell them on the market board for a little bit more. Yugiri, my people could not endure another long sea voyage, but if Ulda will not accept us, what choice have we? Kikyo. Did they not hear Lady Yugiri's pleas? How can they turn us away knowing what we have endured? Kasasagi. Prone to violence and criminal activity? Who is he to speak of us thus? Are we to be punished for sins we may never commit? Teleji Adeleji. It bears repeating that Lord Lolorito does not speak for the Syndicate. The others harbor doubts. I will allow, but in time they shall see the error of their ways. Elfino. As Lord Lolorito goes, so goes the Syndicate. And Ruban. Ruban would like to discuss how to handle the Doman refugees. As you observed, Lolorito is not afraid to speak his mind, nor is he like to change it. Oft have I wondered how a man so skilled at weighing the worth of things should be so incapable of seeing the value in people. Bah, I will waste no more words on him, not when the Domans are yet in need of aid. Everyone, follow me to the Hall of Flames. And so we must needs go to the Hall of Flames. More birds and other stuff. Adeleji Adeleji. I will not deny that certain portions of the refugee population have been a burden on the Sultanate, but I take issue with my counterpart's contention that they account for the majority. In this they are plainly mistaken. Even so, we must not think ill of them for wishing to protect our great nation. Elfino. Mayhap I should have considered the likelihood of failure more deeply beforehand. Yugiri. A galleon is no place for my people, for any people, to call home. This cannot continue. Kikyo. We do not wish to live by the grace of others. We want to work. We want to contribute. Kasasagi. Is there naught we can do to earn the reproof of these Uldans? Ruban. Or Rauban. The Syndicate has spoken, and I see no point in moving that the matter be reconsidered. The Monetarists have made their position clear. Agreed, Ulta is not an option. Nor are Limsa Luminsa or Gridania, I judge given the state of their internal affairs. Which leaves our Doman friends confined to a ship. God, it's the thought of them huddled in an airless hold with no hope for better treatment. Would that I had more time to find an alternative, a place not bound by the concerns of the great nations. Minfilia, that is precisely what I wish to discuss. I understand the Syndicate's decision, I do. We all wish to preserve that which is ours, especially when we believe it to be under siege. But I cannot meekly accept this judgment. Not while my people suffer. Would it be out of question for the Sultanate to accept us for a limited time? A week? Mayhap even just a few days? Excellent. I shall keep you informed. Lady Yugiri, I have a proposal if you would hear it. Out with it, Master Elfino. The headquarters of my order, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, stands in a place called Revenant's Toll, an outpost in Mordona. Like most outposts, it is frequented by the mercenaries and other men of action, and lacks the comforts of more well-established settlements. However, the leaders of Revenant's Toll have been doing their utmost to change that. To that end, they have need of able-bodied individuals willing to work as frontier hands. Hard labor, lest you doubt, will not save food and shelter by way of reward. Terms not unlike those which you yourself proposed, Lady Yugiri. Though I will not hear a word said against your beloved Yulda, Revenant's Toll would offer certain advantages, the absence of unhelpful bureaucracy being the most obvious. If they can accommodate us all, we shall gladly accept. Master Alphino, once again I find myself in your debt. Pray do not thank me, my lady. The life your people go to is one of hard labor and few comforts, as I told you. And before that, there remains the matter of how they may safely be borne to Revenant's Toll, which will be no small feat, considering the distance and their present condition. Mayhap the Uldon Adventurers Guild can be of assistance. Look for me there anon, Celebrian. Lady Yugiri, if you and your people would accompany me, we may discuss what aid the Immortal Flames can provide. And with that, we shall leave the video there. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching!